getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets.
So you've tried doing cardio, you've tried to do sit-ups, you've tried doing weightlifting, you've even tried to eat less, and you've even gone and bought a sauna belt and been wearing it and have not been seeing any results. What's going on, guys? One of the things that I get asked the most is how to lose fat and how to lose body weight. And occasionally I do get asked how to get abs, how to build muscle, all that stuff. And the thing is, a lot of people don't really understand how important nutrition is, or like how to eat, I guess. How many calories do you need to eat? How much protein, fat, carbs, and protein, fat, and carbs all like macros. That's what macro stands for, protein, or that's what people refer to, mainly protein, fat, carbs, the three big nutrients that you need. And if I'll ask them, well, how many calories are you eating, how many macros are you eating, I'll get a blank face and say, I don't know how many calories, I don't know what a macro is. And I just explained to you what a macro is. Now, in this video, of course, I'm going to show you how to calculate all that stuff. Now, notice this step one is to find body fat percentage, but first I want to take a minute and explain what BMR is. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate, and what this basically means in a nutshell is how many calories you need within a 24-hour period to allow your body to function and not lose weight. And by what I mean is by nothing, I mean I guess just sit, not do anything at all, just breathe and sit or lie down. Now, the reason I say let's do body fat first is because you don't want to be, take me for example, you don't want to be, 5'7", and assuming I am fat, be 200 pounds. That would be, I would be obese. There's no way I could be 200 pounds without, steroids or something. But let's just assume I'm 200 pounds and I'm chubby, fat, whatever you can call it. Let's just assume I'm 30% body fat. You see how skinny I am and everything? I'm 16 to 17% body fat right now. So obviously, I wouldn't want to use 200 pounds to figure out how much my BMR is. So what you will do is hit the link in the description below, figure out your body fat, and the link that I will give you, it'll automatically tell you what your lean body mass is, and you want to use that lean body mass to calculate BMR, which there will be a link of a calculator to calculate your BMR, and that will save you the trouble. So once you do that, oh, and before I forget, if you're pretty much toned, you can see your abs, or you can kind of see the formation of your abs, I probably wouldn't worry too much about body fat. Now, if you're like me, because I'm bulking right now, and I don't want to gain too much fat, so I'm gonna go by lean body mass. So, like I said, I already know my exact body fat percentage, so I will use that. Now, once we do all that, you'll get your BMR, and we're going to multiply the BMR, or your BMR, by a certain number, which I'll put a lot more numbers here in a minute once I'm done talking about this. And once we figure out the amount of calories you need in a day, of course depending on what your goal is, which I will also explain, we'll figure out the macros. And yeah, once we do that, that'll be it for the video. And if you could, once we're done, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. That'll help me out a lot, and follow me on Instagram. I'll sometimes post some stuff funny. Sometimes I'll post funny stuff. Excuse me. Alright, see you next clip. Alright, so once you've found the BMR, you're going to pick one of these five. So negativity, pretty self-explanatory. You don't do anything all day. You're just a couch potato. Then you would multiply 1.25 times 1600. If you were me, that's my BMR. Now, if you go to school or you're alpha sitting, you walk a little bit, but you spend most of the day still sitting, a little bit better than a couch potato, then you would multiply 1.38 by 1600. Now, if you're, sorry about that. Now, if you're exercising or training between 3 to 4 days out of the week, then you would multiply 1.55. Or probably if you just have a somewhat busy job, I'd probably say that maybe like shoot, I don't even know, maybe an outside setting, or you're doing a lot of stuff in the inside setting. I'd probably recommend that. Now, this one I'd probably recommend more of an outside setting if you're doing something that makes you sweat. Or you're working out between about 5 days out of the week, maybe 6, possibly even 7. Then you would use that. Or extreme, and by that I mean something that's like Superman, like construction, field work, and you're also working out, very, very heavily, like between, again, like 5 to 7 days out of the week. If you're not sure what to pick, if you feel like you're in between one of these, what I actually did is I took this and this. So I took this number and this number, add them together, and let's see, I'll do it right now. 1.9 plus 1.73, I get 3.63. Divide that by 2, and I get 1.1. I'll write down. Can't say it. 1.815. And now if I multiply that by 1600, I will get, let's see, times 1600, 2,904. Alright, so like I said, that's one thing I like about doing it by hand. I can kind of do this stuff. And also another reason why I did that is because I am young. So I'm going to need a little bit more calories than what I would get with that. So yeah, once you do that, that's the number you want to use, and I hope you can see that. So if you want to cut or lose weight, I would say between 300 to 500, 500 calories deficit. So which would be, let's see, we're just gonna say 11 like that. 200 to 260. So if you're trying to cut, you would want to cut back on your calorie intake to between 2,400 and 2,600. You can kind of play around with that, especially if you're starting off. There's nothing wrong with kind of like experimenting. Excuse me. There's nothing wrong with experimenting, and I would kind of say the same way on the other side. 300 to 500 calories. 500 is a little excessive, maybe like more like 400, but that's why I put 300, between 300 and 500. So of course that would be, and I've been using the 300 calorie surplus, which will be 3,200 to 3,400. I'm sorry, I know it looks bad, but anyways. But since we're using me as an example, I'll tell you what. I am bulking, but since this video is more for like losing weight, I guess I'll just go with 2,500 as an example to calculate macros and whatnot. So see you next clip. Alright, so now we're at the final step, which is step 4, and it's macros. Now macros to me is going to be the most important thing that you're going to learn in this video, because most people might know their calorie, how much they need to take in a day, but what most often happens, I think, is that they'll go super high on their protein, not so good on their carbs. They're very, very low carbs, because everybody's heard that you don't need to eat carbs, like you don't need bread, stuff like that. That's not true. And they probably don't eat enough protein, to be honest, or they might be eating too much, depending on what your goal is. If your goal is to lose weight, you do want to eat a higher amount of protein, so you want to eat between 1.1 and 1.4. For me, just for the example, I'm going to multiply my lean body weight, which is 130, times 1.3. This is just an example. So 1.3 times 130 equals 169. I'm just going to round it up to 170. And then we got to figure out how many calories that is. How much 170 grams of how much 170 grams is in calories. So what you do is multiply 170 times 4. That gives you 680. So 680. Then you want to subtract that from 2,500, which equals to 1,820. So now, again, if you're by the way, if you're bulking, I would just do 1 gram per lean body weight. So it would be 135 bulking. But since we're cutting 170, so now you want to go to fat, and you want to pick a number between 4 to 9. Honestly, if you're cutting, I would just do somewhere close to 4, 5, 6 at most. I'm just going to use 5. So you're going to multiply 5 times your body weight. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 130. And that's going to give me 650. So now I have to convert that to grams of fat. And all you have to do is, instead of dividing by 4 this time, you have to divide it by 9. So divide that by 9. And that's going to give me 72 fat, which isn't too terribly bad. We can go a little bit lower, but again, this is just an example. Alright, so you're going to subtract this over here, which is probably like 170. I mean 1,730. No, actually 1,170. Oh, not bad. Alright. So now you're going to take this and you're going to divide it by 4. So 1,700 divided by 4, which gives me 292. We'll just round it up to 293. Rounding it up a little bit is not going to hurt us. So yeah, that's how much you would need. So it would be, well, yeah, I mean, you can see it right there. So you would eat 170 grams of protein a day, 72 grams of fat in a day, and 293 grams of carbs in a day. And that's actually, even for cutting, that's pretty high. But again, this is just an example, nothing big. And like again I said, do 1 gram of protein per lean body mass, or body weight, I mean, if you're bulking. That's pretty much it for the video. Oh, one other thing before I forget. One good thing to download is MyFitnessPal. For the most part, it's free. Or you can get the free version, and it'll do you good enough. Pretty much self-explanatory. I'll link that in the description below. But yeah, that should be it. The only thing is left to do is to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know if this video was informative or helpful to you. Oh yeah, and follow me on Instagram, and all that will be in the description below. So that's it for today. See you next time.